Hi, this is Dean Hanley, fellow collector, owner of deanscards.com, and author of the Bubblegum War, the great Bowman and Topps sets from 1948 to 1955. We just got in a great collection of 1933 Goudey baseball cards. Thought we'd take a few minutes and go through the set. I think you'll enjoy it. This is absolutely one of my favorite sets. It's a 260 card set and an incredible over 140 cards are actually of Hall of Fame players. Here's Joe Cronin twice. A lot of the press on this set is the 4 Babe Ruths and the 2 Lou Gehrig cards, and I'm not going to talk about those today. I want to focus on some of these other Hall of Famers, like Mickey Cochran, little known guy Jim Bottomley. He actually pictured here as a red. Okay, the 1930s were basically a hitter's era, and so you have an incredible number of these guys that went on to be elected to the Hall of Fame. A lot different than what you see today, where it's so hard for these guys to get in. But I think this is incredible. Here's Urban Faber, one of the few pitchers. It was more of a hitter's decade. Goose Goslin, Pepper Martin from the Gas House Gang, Cardinals. Okay. Sam Bird, not a Hall of Famer. Interesting story. His nickname was the Babe Ruth's legs. He used to, especially in 1933 and 34, when Ruth was getting older, he used to always pinch run for him and then go in and play. There's Alvin the General Crowder. Not quite a Hall of Famer. Good pitcher, though. Rixey, sorry. Actually, he's a red. I buy my insurance from his grandson. Lives here in Cincinnati. Let's see, Ethan Allen. Invented the baseball game I used to play as a kid. All-Star Baseball. Neat game. Leo the Lip DeRocher. Made the Hall of Fame more as a manager. But it's just fun to see these guys. What happened in 33 is a new product came to market, bubblegum. They needed a way to market it. So they came out with this 240 card set. And these came with Goudey gum. Here's Bill Terry. Another Bill Terry. It was such a huge success of marketing the gum, Goudey made $460,000 selling gum in 1933. Now remember, that was during the throes of the Depression. A fourth of the people were out of work, and they're making record profits selling bubble gum. By the next year, a few more sets came out. Let's see who else we got. Kiki Collier, another one of these Hall of Fame guys that really, this mainly happened in the 1930s during the hitters era. These guys got in. I don't see how somebody like him can make it in the Hall today. It's just gotten so hard to get in there. Marty McManus. Earl Combs is actually a Hall of Famer. Probably one of the lesser known ones. Frankie Frisch. This set also has some old timers in it. Tris Speaker. Here's Rogers Hornsby. He's actually, his card, he was actually, I guess, a player manager for the St. Louis Browns. Bill Veeck brought him in, try to get people in the stadiums. A little hard to do since the Cardinals had all those great teams. Here's another Joe Cronin, Hall of Famer. So what happened in 33, you look at Waite Hoyt, again, a very marginal Hall of Famer. Loved here in Cincinnati as an announcer, but as a pitcher, other than playing on the same team, I guess he was lucky because he played on all the same teams as Babe Ruth, both in Boston and in New York. Heinemanish, Senators, Hall of Fame. Charlie Gehringer, on the great second baseman. So what happened is they made so much money off this in 33 that by 1934, 3 more competitors issued sets. And it really cut into Goudey's profits. Sales went down to about half of what it was, and then they continued to decline. What they were finding out is that the gum kind of took on a life of its own, and by 34, 35, Goudey was selling 3 or 4 times more without the baseball cards. So they just kind of ended the era. But this set, just what makes this set so great, I mean, we just keep going through Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. And I like it. I like having these guys in the Hall of Fame. I mean, most of them we wouldn't even know of, unless you know how good they are. It kind of makes you want to look them up and see their statistics. Here's Eddie Collins, great second baseman. He'd probably make it in any era. Here's Jimmy Wilson. Interesting story. He was a coach for the Reds in 1940, and the World Series, Ernie Lombardi got hurt, and Willard Hirschberger committed suicide, and he actually played in the World Series and had a very good World Series. There's Al Simmons, Bucketfoot. This is chapter 1 in my book. And kind of go through it, and I learned a lot about this just by when I was writing the book, even though the book doesn't focus so much on here. But even some of these other players are just neat to look at. But kind of give you a tour of it, and we'll have these online for you, ready to buy. Well, if you get a chance, the book's available on Amazon.com. You can just type in my name under author Dean Hanley, and it's available on a e-edition and also hardback. That about does it for the 33 Goudey cards. If you're selling or buying these, or if you just have questions, please come see us at deanscards.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.